Hello, this is Jeff Byers, your instructor for this course, NE 258. Welcome, and I hope you enjoy the course. I am going to take you through, I know most of you probably know Canvas and have used it already, but if not, I'll take you through it really quick. All right, so the home page will take you directly to the home page where I welcome you, and there's just kind of a brief description what this course is, basic copy and paste of the syllabus. I'm not going to go through this. You guys can look at that at your leisure. We will need to have Unreal Engine 4.27. I realize that there is Unreal 3.7, or excuse me, 5.7 out there already. We can't really use that because it's resource intensive. You got to have a pretty heavy computer, pretty strong computer to be able to run it. And some of you guys, a lot of students don't have that ability to. So we're gonna, and plus we need assets for that. And since that is brand new, there's not a whole lot of assets. You might be able to find a couple things. But we need a lot more than a couple of things. So, and all my videos are over 4.27. If you do want to use the newer version sometime after class, after you get done with the class, you want to experiment with it, feel free to, of course. Here's a course summary. You can also find this in the syllabus. So if you click on syllabus, you'll actually see the official syllabus here that I turn into our department. So feel free to click on the arrow, either preview it or download it. I'm not going to go over anything in here. We start our projects, they're called modules, each week. And module 1 would be like week 1, and module 2, week 2. So we'll go through that. We start on Monday, opens up on Monday, and then we turn everything in on Sunday. The only difference with the discussion is that, and we'll talk about that in just a second, but your discussion post, your reply to the post will be due on Thursday. And then the following, that coming Sunday, it's due, you have to reply to one student. Okay, so we'll talk about that in just a second here. I mean, as far as showing you what I mean. So assignments, that's where all your assignments are. And if I'm in student view, you'll see something that looks like this. And what I want you to do is I want you to click on Show by Type, upper right hand corner. Okay. All right, I am going to I'm going to go back out of student view and take you through the project. So module 1, pre-production and prototyping your first room. We're going to create a room, kind of a house, single room type of house. You can break it up any way you want to. So this tells you our schedule. Again, it starts on Monday. Every week we'll start a new module. And this module will have 3 parts. Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. And we'll talk about that in just a little bit when I go back out here. But I'm going to talk about this particular project. We're just going to do BSPs, and we have resources at JCC. If your computer cannot handle Unreal, you'll have to then make arrangements to get up to Johns County Community College in the RC 335 lab. That's on the 3rd floor of the RC building, Rainier Center. And you will find the computers, animation computers, along the west wall. Okay, make sure you bring a hard drive that is capable of saving at least 20 gigabytes of resource material if you want to save your stuff. All right, and here's some other information for you. Picard software, as you guys know, Unreal 4 editor, 4.27.2. Now you're not going to be able to get to 0.2. You're probably going to find 4.27. And then when you open it up again, it'll say update, and you can click on update, and that'll give you the 0.2. Okay. Maya 2025, you'll need to have that, or you can have something similar like Blender, as long as you can save FBX files. And I do not support Blender. That means I'm not going to be able to answer any questions if you have any problems or issues with it. So you better feel pretty comfortable using Blender and exporting your objects out. We use Substance Painter, Adobe Substance Painter. It is free. So you'll have to follow all the download instructions. I even have a how to download and install Unreal Engine. So look at that, and installation for Maya 2025, installation for Substance Painter. And then the first content lecture is my version of download and install 4.27 if you can't get it to work, that other video. I just made that today, and then setting up a new folder system. You need to watch this one for sure. Okay, some other lectures that I found that I think you might be interested in, that are fun to watch and interesting to see what Unreal can do. And then what is game design? I take you through the level design and game environment planning. So this is just a planning thing. You're basically going to follow what I want you to do, but this is just the workflow that a game level designer usually follows, from ideas and then to setting location and theme, project purpose, set of features, photo reference and research, and we have environment story, and then visual development. And this just kind of takes you through the workflow. The reason why I have it in here is I think it's really important that you know the foundation for all the pre-production work, production, and post-production work. And even though I'm kind of guiding you through the process, a lot of you may want to create your own room and environment for that room, and that's fine, but you'll still have to follow the scale and the width and height and length, and we'll take you through that in just a little bit. But I've got videos on getting to know the UI interface, Unreal interface, how to create and save a new level, and navigating 3D space. We have to talk about player scale and world architectural dimensions. That's very, very important. 1 UU, which is one little unit, one Unreal unit is equal to 1 centimeter, or 1 grid unit. So we talk about character height, how many Unreal units it is, and how to then figure out the dimensions of something in Unreal. All right, so what is BSP? That's binary space partitions, and why do we use them? You might want to watch that video for that. Kind of gives you some background on that. Unreal 4 editor hotkey cheat sheet. I think I'm going to update this with something else, Unreal 4.27, because what's happening is that they came out with 4, and that's the only thing I can find for 4, and that's where all the quizzes are coming from. So 4.27, and this one is from Unreal 4. So they made some changes to some of this. So I'm going to update that for you and update the quizzes. You won't have a quiz this week. So I'll be going by whatever I have put up there. I think I really want to change this because the quizzes kind of follow this, and that might kind of mess you up a little bit. So I'm going to get that deleted, and you'll see something different here for this part for as far as hotkeys go. It's important you understand hotkeys and know about hotkeys. Our course assignment is we're going to create an interior exterior. We're going to create a large room. And the reason why I start with a room is that we want to start slow and until you get used to how to prototype a room out. And I take you through, you can follow my plan or you can create your own plan, but you'll have to turn in that floor plan as a JPEG or take a picture of it and send it out to yourself, email it to yourself, and then you can turn it in. But the minimum room scale is 60 by 30 feet. So those of you that want to create your own can do that, but you have a minimum room scale. You can go bigger, but you cannot go smaller, and I will check that. The exterior will also have to be bigger. If you make your room bigger, then your exterior has to be bigger because you need to have an area for your yard. You also are required to have a fence or a wall of some kind to keep the player from falling out. Okay. All right, so with that said, make sure you read the entire assignment. I'm not going to do that right now, but read the entire assignment. If you have questions for me, please email me at jbyers3@jcc.edu. Here's the course assignment materials. You can download the materials by clicking on the arrow, and you can see the floor plan. If you do your own floor plan, you don't like what I have here, you want to do your own, that's fine. You can make it bigger. You can't go any smaller than this. You can't go any smaller than the yard, but you can go bigger if you want to. You can have a larger yard and a larger room, and you can cut the rooms up into smaller sections. It's just that you're making more work for yourself if you do that, because you have to then set dress each room with furniture, assets of some kind. I will not allow destruction, meaning that I will not allow you to create a dump where you can just put garbage or put whatever you want in there. I want it to look like a room, okay? Front room, and you can break it up into smaller pieces, like you could have a dining room over here, over here, and the front room over here. Then you're going to add things on the outside, grass and trees and rocks. Now this will be the next two parts. This one is just the BSP, and it's just a block out. It's called the white boxing, and here's a unit of conversion. So if you want to find out how big 115 feet is in Unreal, then this is the formula for that. So you have to take 115 feet times 30.48. All right. So there are 30.48 centimeters in a foot. So you take that times how many feet, and this is what you end up with. You're going to have to round that up or down, but we're just going to round this to 3,500. Okay. The reason for that is that because it's a grid, we're never going to be able to get that 0.2 out of that. Okay, that's about as precise as you can get. 3501, 3502. You start putting in 0.2s, and then you're going to have a problem. So it's just a little easier that way. So here's some other things in here just to kind of help you out along the way. How to get to your landscape, your foliage, your editing brush, your mesh paint, fracture, selection tools, and setting up your project. Now, I've already gone through this, but here's another one. Also kind of describing how to do it. Prototyping BSPs part 2. So I want you to watch these videos. This is where I take you through the whole process of creating the one that I have here. So I'll be demonstrating how to create this. So those videos down here will kind of go through that. So if you're building your own and you've never used Unreal, you're probably going to have to watch this, how I did it, and then kind of replicate what you have and create your own room and exterior. So whether you do mine or you do your own, make sure you turn in your floor plan to me. Grading rubric. So you're going to do a prototype white box, large room using BSP geometry, following the floor plan blueprint dimensions provided by the instructor, which is me. Or if you want to do your own, then you're going to have to provide me your floor plan blueprint when you're finished. If you don't, then I'm going to take 10 points off of your total grade. So you need to have the floor plan. If you're going to be doing mine, then you don't need to turn it in because I've already got it. So the student created 2 doors and 3 windows using BSP geometry, following the floor plan blueprint dimensions, and added lighting to the interior of the room. Again, I take you through all of this stuff, even how to turn in the 4 screenshots that I want, and the 2 perspective screenshots of the exterior. The lighting of the geometry is all built. That means that you need to build your lighting and geometry. That's important. Otherwise, I won't see any shadows. Things will look kind of weird. All right. And then that's the grading rubric for that part. And then prototyping, reflects the shapes, dimensions. That means when you're following my plan, it looks good. If you follow your plan, your floor plan, but it needs to look like your floor plan. The student has included the 2 doors and 3 windows, and you need to make sure you have a ground plane. I'm going to have to put an E there. An exterior wall fence reflects the shape, dimensions, and all the details of the provided floor plan blueprint. All right. And the total points are 40 points. Instructions to turn stuff in. Please watch those videos. It will be very helpful for you. And let's see, deliverables. 4 interior, 4 exterior. Okay. And this is the folder structure. I want you to have your first and last name, underscore NE 258 module 1, just exactly like that. And then you're going to create subfolders within that folder called screenshots. And you're going to place all the screenshots that you created, all 8 of them. You're going to put the subfolder into the main folder, and you're going to click on the main folder and create a zip file. Okay. And I have instructor examples. And this is the interior with the lighting. This is with the windows and the door. Okay. And I'm going to kind of scroll down, and you want to take a screenshot of each corner. I take you through the whole process, so make sure you watch all the videos. Okay. And then there's the exterior from each corner, all 4 corners, front and back. I am missing one here. I don't know what's going on here, but 1, 2, 3. So I've only got 3, but there's 4. So you can have 4 corners. Just make sure you get all 4 corners there turned in. Okay, that's basically it in a nutshell. Read your syllabus, read your syllabus, check for announcements. I got an announcement here for you. And when you click on the announcements, check those twice a day. And you can see that I've got some good instructions that I sent you guys before class started. So you won't need just a heads up, you won't need Maya until after the, the second week. So you got 2 weeks to figure out how to get Maya on your computer and Substance Painter. Okay. Other than that, you're good to go. What to expect, you can kind of read through that. But and then your grades are going to be under grades and so on and so forth, that kind of stuff. So you have questions, call me, let me know. Actually, don't call me. Email me at jbyers3@jcc.edu. And I hope you have a great course and a great summer. And I hope to meet each and every one of you in the discussions. I wanted to check discussions real quick. All right, so let's see here. 111, where are you? There you go. So when you're just going to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, please discuss why you decided to get into animation and what inspires you to be an artist. So please answer each one of those and try to write at least a paragraph. Good 3 or 4 sentences at the least. And then, of course, I don't want a book written. So, keep it to no more than three paragraphs, let's say. And then that's due on the 11th. So you have to reply to this post by replying to it, right? And then you need to respond to, this should say 1 because we have a small class. So respond to, I'll change this. Respond to at least one student, okay? So you'll have people respond to this, then I want you to respond to them, okay? All right, with that, you can get up to 10 points. So make sure you do part of the discussion. Make sure you do this every week, and make sure it's in by the 14th, okay? All right, that is it. Quizzes will start Module 2, and it'll be over Unreal hotkeys, okay? All right, and I'll see you guys later, and have a good day, and hope you enjoy the course. All right, I'll talk to you later.